Sharp Talk time, people. This is where I bring real life people who've done magnificent transformations and they share their transformation journey along with us. And I've got here special guest. Now, when we're talking about training in later ages, I want you to really think about this, what it's going to look like for you in later ages if you do some key things. And this is what we're going to be talking about: staying consistent, focused, dedicated. And I've got here to the podcast, De Silva, better known as Anthea. Welcome to Sharp Talk time.
Thank you, Mikey. Thank you for the invite. Pleasure to be here.
Brilliant, brilliant. So, listen, I know I've been working with you for quite a long time.
Yeah.
However, you know, every time I see you walk into the studio, you know, you light up my eyes.
Okay.
Knowing like where you're at right now and the things that you can do compared to some of the people around the same age group as you, where I know that their world is totally different from what you're capable of doing. And you are an inspiration. And anybody else who's younger than you sees you probably don't know this, but I'm going to tell you, they're like, wow. Okay, so you lot are listening to this to hear that wow effect. And if you want to be like feeling sharper in your late ages, you better listen to this story.
Okay.
So just, if you could give us a little bit about you.
Okay, so as Mikey said, Althea De Silva, they normally call me Silver or Da Silva at the gym, which is fine. I won't really reveal my exact age, but I was born in the 60s. So it gives you an indication of, you know, I'm well past 50.
There it is. And
well past 50.
Yeah, and every time I tell people are like, no way. No way. So there it is.
Yeah, I always put it down to good genes because, I mean, you saw my mum when she retired at 61. There's no way she looked like 61. So I always put it down to good genes.
Okay. Do you know, I'm going to say that's being modest there.
That's being modest.
Yeah, that's being modest. That's a nice way of saying it. But really, if you see what I give her at the gym and I get her to do, you know, should be no modesty about to it. Remember, I remember like Monday I gave you 50 burpees, you know.
Yes, you did.
Okay, there it is. And if I told people, I bet I give you 50, they'll be looking at me like, no way.
Yeah. Oh, well, my story is that, you know, born in the 60s, I've always been very active. I've always liked sport. At school, I was always in like the teams for netball, for hockey. I played basketball. I did athletics. So I've always liked being active. I always liked the movement. And then when I finished school, it was a few years when I wasn't doing anything. Then I joined a netball team. So me and my sister joined a netball team, and we was doing that for a few years as well. And then I slowly went on to go into the gym. So, but my going to the gym is nothing compared to going to the gym with Body Sharp.
Okay.
Because my going to the gym was, you go in, you go and do like a class for half an hour, 45 minutes maximum. Then you go in the sauna or you go and have a little swim. And that's it. And you thought you had a good workout. So I didn't touch any of the equipment. I never went into the side of the gym where the equipment was. It was always about classes.
Yeah. Okay. So you see that there. And I know that a lot of people out there actually probably go for that same format. They go to the classes, they probably go swim, sauna, and at the end of it, they're like, I've done the workout. Well, you have done a workout in a sense, but if there's something that like another level, then you've got to like train and do things in a totally different way.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What was the problem that you initially came to see me that you were having?
Okay. So I've been through numerous gyms in Birmingham. That's where I grew up and that's where I still reside. And some of them were great, some of them were really good, but they tend to sort of shut down and then you have to find another gym. And then you start all over again in terms of what does the gym offer, what can you do? So I was very good in the summer because I didn't mind going to the gym and being out. But when it was winter time, I was always staying in the house. And in my younger years, I could eat anything and didn't have to worry about getting fat and stuff like that. But obviously, as the years go on, you find that you can't just eat anything. You have to watch what you eat and also be active as well. So what I was finding was that I was getting a bit bored, just going in and doing the classes. I wasn't getting the toneness. I thought I was fit. because I was being active. I was going probably about 3 times a week. So I was getting a bit bored. I wanted something different, something that would challenge me. And during that period of time, I'd also been with a personal trainer. So I had a taste of what training actually looks like. So, and what I found out from that personal trainer was consistency is key. So you can do it for a bit, get toned, but you got to keep it going. So consistency was the main thing for me, but also I wanted something that I'm going to enjoy and I'm going to notice a difference. And what brought me to Body Shop was, I'm sure it was a WhatsApp message. I was part of a group and it said something about if you want a challenge or if you want to try something different, try Body Shop. So that's when I contacted yourself.
Okay. No, nice. So when you actually came in and like, what service did you realize, you know, this is the right service for me and this is the right place for me?
If I'll be honest with you, when I first walked through the door and seen what the guys were doing at the time, I thought I've come to the wrong place.
Ah!
I was like, this is not for me. I can't do these things. And so that was my initial thought. It was like a rabbit caught in headlights. I was like, what am I doing here? I can't do that. But what I found quite inspiring at the same time was that you had men and women and they were basically training side by side, doing the same things. But in my mind, I was thinking, I don't think this is for me. And I think you gave me a couple of tests. We had a conversation, didn't we, about what I'd done in the past. And the thing that stuck in my mind from that first visit is that when I had to do the canal run, because I thought, what's this got to do with training? And you're standing there and he was watching me run down to the bottom and come back again. I was like, I was knackered by it when I'd done that first initial session. Well, just like meet up with you. So my initial thoughts was, this is like, this ain't for me.
I overworked her.
I don't know if it's because, I don't know if it's my generation or if it's just related to women, but when I was growing up, women weren't looked to train to do lifts and push-ups and running and stuff like that. What I saw was hardcore training from yourself, you know, like what you do for an athlete that's professional. That's all I saw. So I was just thinking, is this really for me?
I love it.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. But anyway, considering you were thinking that, you know what I mean, 5 years on, we're still here. So something must have triggered you. But guys, I'm intrigued to hear more now. Okay. Let's go.
So I did that, and I said I wanted something different. I wanted something challenging. So I thought, let's give it a go and see what happens. So I was quite open-minded in terms of let's give it a go. So it was challenging. It was hard, but it was motivating. It was encouraging. I don't know how long it was, but people started to notice the physical difference in my body. I didn't notice it straight away, but people were commenting, what have you been doing? And I'm like, well, the only thing I've been doing differently is the training with Mikey Spice. But it's not something that you see straight away. I remember you always saying that you got to take photographs to see the difference and see the change. But sometimes you don't always see it yourself unless you're standing naked in front of a mirror, for example. Yeah. And it's not something I was doing at that time. So, I started doing it. And I think at the time there was another guy, I can mention his name, Soulful.
Yeah.
He's more or less my age group. So I thought, there's somebody there my age, so I didn't feel completely out of place. Yeah. And I think Dawn came later on as well. Yeah. And then I found there was bits of the training I loved, like the boxing bit. Yeah. So I could really get into that. So I focused mainly on what I was getting out of it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So when did you realize, like, how long was it in when you realized, you know, I'm in the right place?
I'm in the right place.
Yeah. Because first of all, you were like, wow, when you're doing the run, like, this is for me. So when did it change over to go, you know what, this is probably what I actually need?
I think I'd say it was months. It took for me to realise that, because I kept going back. And with my consistency, it's normally because I'm going in, I was doing the same sort of thing when I wasn't going to Mikey Spice. So it was the variety that I was getting coming to yourself, and because I was enjoying it as well. We had lots of fun. It was tough. We had lots of fun, but it was tough. But I realised this is working for me. I can do this.
Yeah.
Whereas before I was thinking, there's no way I'm going to do that. Why do I want to do that?
Look at this. So you've seen that shift and stuff that.
And for me, it always just starts in my mind. My mindset is you probably realise it is a key part of me. If I tell myself I can't do something, I tend to chicken out or just take the easy route. So my mindset was changing and I was enjoying it. So and I kept coming back week after week.
I know, you did. I remember you making this something saying to me. She pre-warned me beforehand. She's like, Mike, I only train in summertime. Come wintertime, I go into hibernation. And I was like, right, you know what? Come wintertime, I'll be after her. So moving on to the next question, I need to ask you: what was your frustrations before coming to see me? Then
my frustrations.
You needed to get solved. Your frustrations, your problems that you needed to get, solved.
I think for me, I wanted to show some proof I was actually training, I was actually doing something. Whereas I've been doing the classes, I felt fit, but physically there was no change. So I think that was one of my main frustrations. I wanted physically for something to change, to see if I could physically change my body through exercise and what it would take to do it. So that was one of my key frustrations.
And what kind of changes were you looking for? Was it strength, or what kind of, was it cardio fitness? Because there was a lot of different things.
Lots of different things. But initially, I don't know if it's just women, but initially you're just looking just to get that nice figure, aren't you? That's initially what you're thinking. But then when you're going through the process, you're identifying there's different ways you can get that physique. Like you said, there's cardio, there's strength. So I think I've always been quite strong, especially with my upper body.
It's so strong that you still can do pull-ups. And she does dips. And she does press-ups. Yeah.
Well, that's the magic of going to Body Shop, isn't it?
She keep it under the table. I did hear there's something out going on social media about women can't do pull-ups. And I looked at it and it was like, how many women can do pull-ups? And it was like 0. And I went, liar. I said, well, my women, I know that they can do pull-ups.
Yeah, for sure.
And even at later ages.
Yeah, that does cross my mind, because I do think, as I get older, how much longer can I keep going? But it's a state of mind. The last thing I want to do is my body seizes up. A lot of people my age, probably some younger, complaining about all the aches and pains that they're having and the stiffness. And I know if I don't train over a period of time, I do feel the stiffness. And I do go to a chiropractor because I've got problems with my back. And it keeps reminding me that movement is key. And I know that's something that you keep saying as well.
Yeah.
Just as well as going to the gym, just going for walks and things like that. So movement is key. So for me, I've got to keep that in my mind. Movement is key. Use it or lose it.
I like that. I like she's taking note, Use it or lose it. I always say that to you. She's taking note. I like that.
I may not say much, but it's registering. That's what I like as well, because I am learning stuff. And you give us these gems. Yeah. Sometimes you realise it, sometimes you don't. But, most of the times I'm making up my face. I'm thinking, why is he getting us to do that now? I can't do that. And I've realised, don't vocalise it. Don't say nothing. Just shut up and just try.
There it is. I hear the desire talking. Discover, just try.
So, yeah.
So let me ask you a question. What does life look like now that you've solve some of the things that you came to see me?
From my mental capacity is increased in terms of, because, we say it's going to the gym, but it does affect, it's your mindset, isn't it? It's how you do things. Like, I'm quite a loyal person. So I've found that I've liked what you're doing. I'm benefiting from it. So I'm going to be loyal. Yeah. And I found out with that loyalty, if he asks me to do things, try, give it a go. That I think that's the key thing that's changed. I may huff and puff and then think, oh gosh, Yeah. Okay, but I've got to try. I've got to try for me.
And has it changed in other aspects away from the gym as well, like in your own personal life? Are you willing to try new things that you wouldn't done before?
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, I do let you know that, undercover, she also does golf as well.
Yeah, we put a pause on that, unfortunately, but I'm hoping to pick it up again. So yeah, golf was something that I've never had an interest in. I think it was back in 22. I think it was something like that. They wanted to get black women involved in golf, so they had these taster lessons. So I just thought, I've not done it before. Doesn't look very interesting. Let's give it a go. But it's wicked, man.
Yeah? Look at this. Look at this.
Wicked.
Is that part of that discovery?
Yeah.
And like, I've seen you, like me personally, I've seen you challenge yourself when it's been very uncomfortable and you've been uncertain about the outcome. You've give it a go.
Give it a go. Got nothing to lose, have you?
No.
Yes. A lot of people... See, I don't like people who complain about things but not willing to try it or open the mind a little bit. So you've got to be a bit open-minded, especially when you're going to try something new. And when we get to a place that we're too comfortable, you give us new targets, you give us something different to do. And that's where I find challenging as well. And then I think I have to dig deep.
So would you say that's what's different from other services and other gyms and other things that you've done? You
didn't get the challenge because you go into a class basically, and you're one of many 20 or 30 people. So you may get the moves and do, like I did a spinning, for example, but I had to stop because of my knees. But spinning, you got fast, you got the movement, but then after that, where do you take it? So with Body Shop, with Mikey Spice, you're being challenged. As you said, you do something, you feel comfortable, you think, yeah, I can do this. And then he throws something in there and you think, oh my gosh, I can't do that. But then you have to think, no, dig deep, give it a try, see what happens.
Yeah. Now,
it doesn't always work out, I say that. It doesn't always work out. Sometimes you think, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes.
But you walk away with a sense of achievement that you had give it a go, and then you know where your limits are.
Correct. Yeah. You know what works for you. There's things that I'm very comfortable with, and there's other things that I'm not very comfortable with. But I try and do it now and again.
Yeah. Okay. Tell us your story regarding resistance training, because I know that we've done it. I don't know how you felt about it. In fact, if you could just, give her your explanation regarding resistance training, because I know that you're skilled now in using bars and dumbbells, and then you've also got another gym membership that you've got as well. And sometimes when I don't see you go to the gym yourself.
Correct.
How do you feel about that? Like, how's it changed there?
Has it changed? So, for example, you got to have time off. So you have a week off, for example. So I've gone to the other gym when you're on holiday. And I've tried to stick to the pattern of Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And then sometimes I might sneak in an extra session. And then I've gone to the gym. The first time, because my gym that I went to recently closed, so I've gone to another gym. So I've gone there, and the first time I went, it felt a bit uncomfortable because it was a new environment. So initially I was walking around just assessing where the equipment is, what does what, who's using it, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought, okay, stop faffing around now. It's time to do some work. Yeah. So
I love that.
I've got to do my warm-up. And then I thought, okay, what are you working on today? So I've tried to get into a routine, if not working with you, that I'm going to probably do lower body one day and then upper body the next day. And then probably cardio. So it's given me the confidence to think about when I go into the gym, I'm going to the gym with a purpose. I've got in my head what part of my body do I want to work, whether it's everything or just lower body or cardio. And then I think, yeah, okay, because you've got exercises on the app that I can look at as well and think, I'll use that and that's the exercises I'm going to do. Yeah. I must admit, because I'm on my own, I wouldn't necessarily lift the weights that would lift when I'm with yourself because I've got no one to buddy me. But it was funny because the last time you was away, I'd gone to the gym and I was doing bench press, but it was with the machine sitting down. and I was just trying out some weights. And in the distance, there was a guy looking at me, smiling at me. And then he was like double take. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with him? And then, okay, I did one set. Then I put the weight up again. And he looked astonished, as if to say, why's that woman lifting that weight? That's what I got reading, looking at his face. Yeah. And I thought, in the end, I just smiled back and did my sets and then moved on to the next thing. So I thought, a few years ago, I would have felt really uncomfortable doing that.
Yeah.
And to know someone's watched, because I don't like when you watch me.
Yeah.
Yeah, or when you put the camera out. Yeah. So when I saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So I just smiled back and I thought, okay. So it's given me the confidence and just knowing what equipment you can use and which parts of the bodies you're actually working on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought that was quite funny afterwards.
That is. Because I'll be honest with you, sometimes you go to some of these mainstream gyms and when you see people look at you and, you can have those feelings. However, it was different because you knew what to do. Yeah. And you probably knew a lot more than what he knows. And he's looking at you going, wow, she knows what she's doing, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because the gym at the time that I went, there's a lot of people I think they go there to socialise and talk. So they're sitting there and they're doing a bit of exercise and then they're chatting and you think to yourself, when are you going to finish with that equipment so I can go on? So, yeah, it's a complete turnaround.
Yeah. By the way, we don't do socialising. We have a little laugh, crack, and get back to work. You know what I mean? So you demand the same thing when you walk into a new environment?
Yeah, especially when they're just hogging the equipment and you think to yourself, I'm on time here. I want to get out, get in and get out and go. So, yeah. Yeah, but as you said, using the dumbbells, doing the press-ups and using, all the other equipment in the gym, I'm fairly comfortable with them. I know what to do with them. Yeah.
That's good. So let me ask you a question and you can share with everybody. What's one of the most challenging things that you had when it came to working out that you overcame?
Most challenging thing?
Yeah. Was it the pull-ups? 'Cause I remember when, was it the pull-ups? Because I was amazed. When you first came, could you do pull-ups?
No, I've never attempted to do a pull-up.
Okay.
Never attempted to. Because you just think it's something that guys do. Why would a woman, sounds funny me saying this, want to go in the gym and start doing pull-ups? I didn't see the benefits of doing pull-ups.
So you got to remember, she didn't do pull-ups. And at the same time, what age were you at that time? Do you remember?
I was still in my 50s.
Okay, so there it is. Okay, she didn't do pull-ups and she was in her 50s. Now, a lot of people got a belief that, I'm way too old.
Oh, that's true. To even start.
To start. And you defied all the odds. 50, came in there, never done pull-ups, and then you started to do pull-ups.
Yeah.
That is a credit in itself. And I hear guys say, Mike, is it too late? And I'm like, bro, you're only 44, or 40. What do you mean, is it too late?
Is it too late?
Yeah, I even hear in 30s.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying is that people need to hear this story about, do you know what I mean? And I've got videos of her doing pull-ups, by the way. So I'm going to put it up there where you go, look, see, you can do pull-ups. And it's a lie if you think it, you can't.
You can't do
especially in your later ages, people. So, but yeah, tell us what you did with that. Share the story. How did you manage to do that?
The pull-up?
Yeah, how did you manage to do that?
You know what it was? When you in the gym and you see other people doing it, and as your confidence grows, you think to yourself, I'd like to give that a go to see if I can do it, because you become a bit more competitive. I know I did.
Yeah.
So I thought, especially when you see that there's other women doing it as well, so you think, let's give it a go. Because I remember we used to do a circuit at the gym in Aston, and then I remember some of them was pull-ups, and I would avoid doing the pull-ups. But then I thought, let me give it a go. And I thought, I struggled to do it, obviously, because I didn't know the technique. But as time went on and the more I did it, then at least I thought, oh, gosh, I can do one pull-up at least. Yeah. So that's what it was. It's good when you can see other people can do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not thinking of my age. I'm just thinking about my motivation. Do I want to do it? Do I want to give it a try? It's a challenge. And I was like, yeah, I can do it, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is. That's awesome. So how did you feel when you were able to do it? And you were like, "Yo, I've done it."
I've done it. It was amazing. And I think I managed to get a few reps, but consistency again. I didn't do it for some time, so it's difficult to get back into it and do it. So it reminds you that if you can do it now, be consistent so you can do it in the future as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome to know you can do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Big achievement, and that's some achievements that some women probably don't even look at, or they will never ever get to that chance to actually do it.
Yeah,
I know my mum, she's never been able to do a pull up. And I wouldn't even actually, I'd be like, pull, she'll pull my back out. That's how I pull I do.
But I don't know if it's a generational thing. I don't know what I think the women nowadays are more inclined to go to the gym and do weights and stuff like that. Everybody wants a booty now, don't they?
Yeah,
and
but
things like that.
yeah, but you said like everyone wants a booty, but like are they willing to do the pull-ups? I've heard people tell me that they work out and they're strong, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, how's what do you want to achieve? And they're like, I want to be able to do a press up, and I'm like, I thought you were strong. Like lifting your body weight should be like one of the first things you should be able to do.
Yeah. And we don't think about that, do we, in terms of lifting your own body weight? Yeah, I remember I've gone somewhere and I've been walking somewhere and we were walking for about 10 minutes or so, and there was a woman I was walking beside. I didn't know her, and she looked my age, my generation, and we were walking to a destination. We was walking from a coach to go to a park, and we had a slight incline we had to walk to get to this park. And when we got there, she was having palpitations. And she started walking off, and she was going towards the first aid tent. And I says, "Where you going?" She says, "I don't feel good." And I was like, "Rah." This is what I'm thinking in my head. I was thinking, I says, "You're all right?" She said, "No, I don't feel good." And I was thinking, to me, that was like a little walk. I was gobsmacked that she was feeling like that. And sometimes I do take for granted what I'm doing because I'm doing it. It may not be as slick as other people, but I'm still moving. I can still do things. And I was like, wow, I don't want to be like that. A 10-minute walk, and you're struggling. It's within your capability to do something about it if you can, unless you got a sickness that doesn't allow you to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there it is. That's a clear story there of why it's very important to look after your physical health and keep your standards going, because like your peer group now, and I'm starting to see it in my peer group, and like I'm in my 40s, that some of them are like falling behind, and are they going to make it to the 50s or dream even being in the 60s and like even having the same similar standard? And I'm saying is now me listening to you, it just enlightens me even more. And like I said, I've still got more years to go. I need to make sure I'm still consistent, because like I want to be that 50, 60-year-old person. And you've just given me, it's a blessing, me hearing you, because you've just instilled back in myself again that why I should turn up on the days that I don't want to turn up. So you're just an inspiration for me, like I'm inspiration for you. Oh, hopefully I'm inspiration to you.
No, you are definitely inspiration.
Yeah. And it's been pleasure to be in your community, in your presence, and witness greatness. Even though that you're such a modest person, okay, but do you know what I mean? Compared to what what you can do.
Okay.
And
thank you.
Anybody else younger than you looks up to you to say, "Wow, one day I want to be that person." So you are that person.
It's because I look nowhere near my age, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there it is. I'm saying this that I know I've been in your society about 5 years, and you've been consistent over the 5 years.
Okay.
Well, I haven't seen you. It's not like I haven't seen you for 2 months. Do you know what I mean? I've always seen you week in, week out, probably holiday 2 weeks out, or whatever it is, but never longer than a month. I've never ever seen you. So that's consistency in itself. That you turn up and you move and a lot of people take 1, 2, 3, and then next minute it's 4, 5 years, 6, 7 years, and then they haven't done any form of exercise or even turn up in the gym.
But I think one thing you've said, and it's true, if you stop, it's hard to get going. Yeah, it's hard to get going. So, and the best times I've had is when I didn't want to come into the gym.
There it is. I want you all to hear that.
You know what I'm saying?
The best times have been when she didn't want to go in.
I didn't want to go in, and I've gone in. I've worked, but I've had so much encouragement, so much joke as well, but I've worked hard, and I thought, oh my gosh, imagine if I didn't come in, I would have missed out on this. You see? I can't believe I'm saying this, but that's the reality. That's the truth.
Oh, look at this!
Yeah,
look at this!
so-
Yeah, she's making a declaration statement now. So there we go, Bob. Like, yo, you remember what you said on the podcast, huh? You all heard it now.
No excuses now.
Listen, it's been a pleasure in like having you on this podcast and learning about your story. Is there anything that you want to share to anybody that's working out, men, women? That will inspire them.
That would inspire them.
Yeah. Or what would you, in fact, this is a great question.
Okay.
What would you have told your younger self?
My younger self?
If you could go back,
Yeah.
okay, and you could see the younger you, what advice would you give yourself to the younger you?
I would have been in the gym a lot earlier than I have been. So I was doing other things and being very active, but I think I would have been what I call proper training, going in the gym, doing the weights, doing my cardio stuff. I would have done that a lot earlier.
Okay. So you would tell the younger you,
Yeah.
don't go too much to the classes. Yo, build up confidence, get your ass into the weights part, okay? And start doing proper training.
Start proper training.
Yeah, and proper training is toning up your muscles, getting strong.
Yeah, getting strong. And I remember just a quick one when I went on holiday, and there wasn't a gym where we went. So I was using like the 5-litre water bottles, just doing this with my arms. And people looking at me think I'm doing nothing, but one of the ladies that was sharing the apartment with started to do it, and she was like, but she persisted and she did it. But you see what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
Yeah. And sometimes we can look at other people. Sometimes just focus on yourself as well. Because sometimes, self-talk, positive self-talk is just as important as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, that's awesome. Listen, it's been a pleasure hearing the story of you, your trials, tribulations, and things you overcome.
Okay, thank you.
To where you are right now.
Yeah.
And listen, I hope everyone enjoyed that podcast.
I enjoyed it anyway. If you didn't, not to worry, but I enjoyed it.
No, I enjoyed it. I'm sitting here and I'm like, damn,
I'm talking to
on.
the audience, anybody that's watching. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for the invite.
No, the pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Visit us for updates and shows at affinityextra.co.uk.